Hello everyone, yours truly Chrislevi13, and I thought today I would continue what I've been doing right here on YouTube and throughout social media with you all that are part of the Vault Squad, and that is simply being transparent with you all, kind of trying to keep us all on the same page and you all learn more about yours truly. Now I know this kind of content might not get a lot of watch time or the biggest views and all that, but I feel like it's something that I like doing and sharing with you all. That's why today, as you see in the title of this video, I'm going to talk about why I am passionate about music, wrestling, and gaming with each and every single one of you all. That is music first, wrestling second, and gaming third, because those things are what I am passionate about in life, week in, week out. Even why I spend time with family, I work my job and do everything like that. Sometimes my mind is still preoccupied with what's going on in wrestling, what's going on with music, what's going on with gaming. Now, as you guys can see, I'm also wearing this snazzy shirt right here that has the Saiyan version of Avedon Smith on it. Well, if you want to go pick one of these up, go check Avedon Smith's shop out on streamlabs.com. He has merch there like this and several other shirts up there. It's really awesome, and it supports out Avedon Smith and the content he creates. And that's something that's really cool, is that us creators right here on YouTube and throughout social media don't just have to be supported by you liking our content, you following our content, you subscribing to our content, you viewing it, giving us your watch time. If you want to go a step farther, you can go out there and buy our merch that has our logos, our caricatures on there, and be able to say, hey, I rep Avedon Smith wherever I go, or I rep Nick Teno the Wreck, Rack's great, your player too, this person or that person, because you know me, I'd rather spend a little bit more money and buy a shirt from one of my favorite creators and know that money is going to support them, than go buy something at Walmart or the mall. Anyway, let's get talking about music, wrestling, and gaming, and why I'm passionate about these. And maybe you'll leave down in the comment section below what you're passionate about and why. Anyway, let's do this. Sit back, relax, get ready to enjoy this video. Well, at least I hope you enjoy this video. And if you're new to the channel, do this biggest favor of all, hit that subscribe button to see weekly content from yours truly. So getting into number one, numero uno, number one, being music. Why am I passionate about music? Why do I love playing music? And I have several acoustics, 2 electrics, a bass guitar, mic, the pedal board, several amps, and all that jazz. Why am I passionate about that stuff? Well, it all started whenever I started getting to become a teenager. I started wanting to listen to music. I went out and bought my first album, which was Green Day's American Idiot, and then things just were like history, I guess you could say, you know, the rest is history, as people say. But no, it's not the rest is history, because the first ever instrument I actually played was a trumpet in the school band, and several of my friends, we had some of the same music taste, because when I was going through middle school, we liked All American Rejects, we liked Green Day, we somewhat liked the Foo Fighters at the time. They weren't my favorite band yet. We liked My Chemical Romance, Foo Fighters, and stuff like that. And that was the music that we were listening to, you know. And me, I was also liking those bands, but also I was really into the Hawthorne Heights, Taking Back Sunday, Aiden, stuff like that, you know. And then eventually, when I went to high school, obviously you all have heard it, I didn't continue doing the band. I kind of went into playing other instruments, and because I grew my hair out, and some of the people in my class that were coming, because the 2 middle schools merged to high school, because we had one high school in the county, and basically I started playing a little bit of guitar. First ever little riff was Smoke on the Water that I learned on the guitar, and I just got passionate about music. And since being passionate about music, I've come to, from seeing my dad be in bands, me being in a few bands, I've come to watch all these different documentaries on bands, from the Foo Fighters documentaries on Fleetwood Mac, Leonard Skinner, to stuff about Red Hot Chili Peppers, Green Day, Weezer, all these different bands. And it's really cool, because you know what? I'm not just somebody that's interested at all. I can play the guitar, the bass, a little bit of drums. No, I'm not just somebody that's interested, I can play my favorite songs. No, I like the whole process, learning about people's lives and why they play this song and why they write this riff, or they write this beat for this hip-hop song or this pop song and all this jazz, because there's many people I like people from Stevie Wonder and Al Green to Green Day, Foo Fighters, right there on my wall. A day to remember to liking Drake and Eminem and liking Missy Elliott and Papa Roach, and there's so many different people that I like that it's hard to characterize my music taste. Hell, there's even country artists I like Carrie Underwood, Jason Aldean, Luke Bryan, stuff like that. My music taste is vast, you know, and very varying, you know. And that's what's cool about music, is that music is just like some of the other things I'll be talking about today, wrestling and gaming. There's so many different aspects and taste to it that there's certain people that like just this, just hard rock, just music, just this or that. But then when you look at every genre of music, whether it be the guitar, rock, then you look at rock, you look soft rock, hard rock, southern rock, Christian rock, British rock, Japanese rock. Then you go to hip hop, and there's the East Side hip hop, the West Side hip hop, the LA hip hop, the Florida hip hop, the stuff from New York and the Bronx and this, that, and the other thing. Then you got people that hip hop all the way over there in India, you know. And it's so many different things in music. But I like the whole process from the first note to the last note, from the first letter word to the last word, to learning about these people, because these people are speaking about themselves through music, and it's so interesting to me. And that's why I want to incorporate more music in here, and I'm slowly doing it, playing it wise, but also I know I need to get me some other things to do it, you know, to do it better for you all, you know. And it's really, really cool. And that's why I'm so passionate about music, is that every day I like, whenever I get up and I get in the car and I'm headed to work, I'm coming home from work, you can hear music on the radio through your local radio station. Whenever I sit down here, I get in this spot, I put these headphones on right here, and I can listen to Spotify and find people that are in indie bands, huge bands, small bands, big artists, rap artists, small rap hip hop artists, R&B, jazz, funk, rock, blues, progressive, techno, all these different people that play music and create music. And it's really, really cool, because, you know, I don't have a certain band, certain flavor. Yeah, two of my favorite bands are right there, Day to Remember and Foo Fighters, but that doesn't cover up everything that I like. There's so many vast things in music I like, and I'm always going to be probably be passionate about music, because music is always there, always evolving, always growing. It's like your artists, they play music, they're always growing as a musician, growing as a person, because one day they're a rhythm guitar player, and then the next day they could be the lead guitar player of this band, of that band. And it's really, really cool, and I love going out there. And then me, whenever I play music, I love picking up the guitar and playing lead or rhythm, or playing bass and playing the rhythm on the bass, playing with the rhythm guitar player on my bass, or sitting there playing beat to beat, playing a simple beat on the drums, or going out there playing live, from the setup to the breakdown to seeing the crowd reaction. It's all phenomenal and awesome to me. Now, moving over to number 2, wrestling. And why am I passionate about wrestling? Well, I've done everything in wrestling. I've done backyard wrestling, I've wrestled in a wrestling ring, I've trained in a wrestling ring, and I've took bumps in a professional wrestling ring at a professional show. And it's just like, wrestling just even though people can say wrestling, the F word, F-A-K-E. I'm not going to say that word, but it's F-A-K-E. Well, I'll say it, fake. People can say that, but then again, you'd call any kind of entertainment fake if you call wrestling fake, because it's people going out there putting their bodies online, spending their time online, and and all this jazz for your entertainment. It's like a live stuntman. But the thing about wrestling is that it draws me in from the get-go, from the time that the lights and the pyro and techniques hit that to the time the lights and the pyrotechnic and all that go off. From the start of the match to the end of a match, to the storylines, and all this really interests me, you know. And I'm not just one of those people that, I'm just a fan of the big one, WWE, Raw, SmackDown, stuff like that, you know. No, I like Raw, SmackDown, ECW when it was around, WCW when it was around. Even though I didn't really watch those, I knew they were there. I like ROH, New Japan, I like Impact, which used to be TNA, and so many different varieties of wrestling. Hell, AAA, Lucha Underground, so many different things, you know. Some of my favorite wrestlers of all time are Chris Sabin, Chris Jericho, Edge, Eddie Guerrero, Kane, the Dudleys, Motor City Machine Gun, Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles, and all the different variations of the Bullet Club, Mr. Kennedy, known in TNA as Mr. Anderson, and all these different people are very, very awesome people. You know, hell, even the female wrestlers like Maria and Mickey James and Gail Kim and Lita and Trish Stratus and Jordan Grace and all these different female wrestlers. You know, I love wrestling because it draws me in. It's a story, you know. And yes, sometimes the stories are stupid and silly and I don't always get them. Yes, some of the matches are stupid and silly and I don't get them. But at the end of the day, what do I keep doing? Going back, watching Raw, watching SmackDown, watching the AEWs, watching the Evolves, watching the Dragon Pro Wrestling, watching the Noah Pro Wrestling, watching the British stuff, watching this, watching that, watching the NXTs, watching the UK NXT, and going back for more because I enjoy it. And people say, how can you enjoy somebody beating somebody else up? Well, it's because of the story, the way these characters are. It's them taking themselves, most of them taking their natural self, and going out there, amplifying it, and entertaining people week in and week out. Hell, wrestlers, they're one sport, one version of entertainment that never has an off week. Hell, wrestlers never have an off week either. You know, it's like if you play basketball, you play football, you play hockey, and you're in the professional sense of it, you get your off time, the time when you don't have to play between games, or the off time whenever you're sitting there between the season ended. Well, we got about 2 months, and then we'll go back to training for a month for training and pick up with some new players and all get ready for the next season. And then bam, you're in the next season, right? Well, the three things that I'm talking about here: wrestling, gaming, and music. There's never really an off season because people are always going to want to hear these artists play music. They're always going to want to see these wrestlers wrestle, no matter where it is around the world. Then they're always going to want to play video games. And getting back to wrestling being number 2, is that wrestling is just really, really cool. Hell, some of my favorites that I didn't even mention: Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, Chavo Guerrero, Kane, Undertaker. And that's not just because those names are big popular names. Hell, I don't even like Chris Benoit. I don't like, you know, for what he did in the wrestling ring, not for what he did out, but what he did in Pentagon Jr. and all these other people. They're really, really awesome. And these promotions, hell, Vince McMahon, he may get a lot of backlash for some of the things he does, but nobody can replicate what he has done, the money he has made in wrestling, the legacy that he'll have the day that he passes away. Nobody will be able to touch that, ever. You know, I like what Tony Khan's doing with AEW, and the AEW was AEW, Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, and the Young Bucks. That's very, very awesome. In wrestling, I'm always going to be glued to it. Wrestling, hell, I record Monday Night Raw and Tuesday Night SmackDown every week. I get on the network every week and watch a little bit of NXT. I get on the computer and I watch YouTube channels like Cultaholic or Wrestle Talk or What Culture Wrestling and all that, and keep up with what's happening in the wrestling scene because it interests me just as much as me playing games and me playing music. You know, it interests me a whole lot. You know, so that's why I'm passionate about wrestling, because whenever I got in the wrestling ring and had a match, cool, great, grand. Whenever I did backyard wrestling, even though I should have never done that, cool, great, grand. Whenever I got in the ring at a show, and they actually told us to take one bump and then they let us go home. That taking that one bump in that wrestling ring with somebody that I'd watched on TV before was really, really cool. And it's really, really awesome, you know. So I'm always gonna be passionate about music, and I'm always gonna be passionate about wrestling. Now, getting to number 3. That is number 3 being the be all end all, gaming. Why am I passionate about gaming? Well, it's ever since I was a little kid. The first game that I ever remember playing, Super Mario World, drew me in. From the visuals to the music, and the history is there. Every game's got to have something to draw me in. Ratchet and Clank, the visuals, the music, the guns, characters. Fallout, the big expansive worlds, all these different guns you get in Fallout. The BioShock series, getting to this big, wild, crazy story, but then also going in there and having a little bit of that things that scare you, but also draw you in more. Then you've got racing games where you get to be like, oh, I'm gonna race, and try to be number 1 every single time, even though it doesn't always happen. Then you've got wrestling games where I can take what I love about wrestling, and make myself a pro wrestler and put myself character out there and be able to wrestle like I'm on Monday Night Raw, Tuesday Night SmackDown live. I can be on NXT, be on the pay-per-views, be world champion, even though I've never done that in real life. In a video game, I can do that. Video games are cool, and I like video games just as much as I like wrestling and I like music. I love learning about every aspect of gaming, from when developers share the process of when we wrote the first little lines for this game, or the idea of the game coming out there. Like when I used to hear Bungie talk about Halo, or Insomniac talk about Ratchet and Clank, or Jack and Dexter could talk about, or this is how Gran Turismo came, or when people talk about, oh, here's the history, like the game historian talking about, here's the history of Punch-Out, here's the history of this, Mario, here's the history of this and that. It's so interesting, and everything about gaming. Plus, gaming allows me to interact with you all, the viewers from around the world, because I can go live on stream on my Mixer, which is Mixer Chrislevi13. I'm live there not every day, but at least once a week, if not twice a week. I'm live over on Mixer, usually on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, or Mondays. I'm live there with you all, because I have set streams on my YouTube channel. Everything else is over on Mixer. So please, if you like what I like doing, go check me out on Mixer and all that jazz, But gaming is just so awesome, It's cool that I can name that there's people like this person right here, Abaddon Smith, Nick Tendo Direct, T Belly, J Love 81, Big Evil Gaming, Rax the Great, Captain Aldro, Mega Dan 29, Lit Gaming 99, Chips and Sticks, Pro Jakin or Jakin, you got people like Nicholas or Zach, you got Spawn Wave, RGT85, OJ of Player Essence, Mandy Lee Plays, all these different people that I can go see their content, watch their content, and it's all centered around gaming, and it's really, really cool that games, no matter their Xbox, their PlayStation, their Sega, their Rockstar, their EA, their 2K, their THQ Nordic, or anybody, they can bring us all together. And that's something that I like about music, wrestling, and gaming, and why I'm so passionate about these three things is that they're forms of entertainment, but they bring people from around the world together. You watch WrestleMania 30 and you saw Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar. That wasn't the greatest match of all time. Undertaker wasn't all there after he got knocked out. But you saw how many people were in awe and shock and brought together over seeing Brock Lesnar go over the Undertaker. Then you play games and you can see so many people when you play Castlevania, or you play Super Smash Brothers, or you play Mario Maker 2, or you play certain games, and so many people come together to give people a level to play or talk about these games. And it's really awesome where you sit there and you say, hey, I like Killswitch Engage, one of my favorite bands of all time. And you can see so many people will say, hey, I like this band as well. And so many people that have common threads through these things. So that's why music, wrestling, and gaming is passionate to me, and always going to be passionate to me. And that's why these three things were the central of Chrislevi13. I started with music and wrestling on this YouTube channel, and then I ventured into gaming, and gaming became the most popular thing on this YouTube channel. But also it's because yeah, I say these things are popular, but it's just me expressing myself. Chrislevi13 isn't just Chrislevi13. It's me being myself right here on social media, on YouTube for you all, and I'm passionate about these things, and I love talking about these. I can sit here all day and talk in front of the camera, about everything right there, talk about music, wrestling, and gaming, and it's really, really awesome, And also, look back there. Oh, it looks really cool on camera. That's my dust sleeve that I did the unboxing for. You can go check that out right here on the YouTube channel, and all that jazz. It's really, really awesome to have all those things that are part of my life, that I can wake up every day and I can pick up my controller, and play a vast variety of games. And what's cool about these games is that these games have music in them. Then you got a wrestling game, which has wrestling, music, and gaming all folded into one, and it's like, wow. Anyway, Enough of me jibber-jabbering about why I'm passionate about things. I want to know what you are passionate about. Tell me down in the comment section below, what are you passionate about and why? And I want to let you all know that I'm going to continue being transparent with you, being on the same page with you all. As I go to get my things to make me be able to do music better on this channel, as I go to do things to continue to grow right here on YouTube and over on Mixer. I just want to let you all know I appreciate everybody, I thank everybody, and it means the world to me. Also, if you want to become a Patreon for as little as $1 a month, you can over at patreon.com/Chrislevi13. I've got my letters, they're going to get sent out and all that jazz. So yeah, you all, stay up, you all, thank you for watching. And let me know down in the comment section below. And if you ever want to suggest anything to me to see me do a video on this, or do a stream on this, or this, well, hey, I've got a little area in my Discord, so if you join my Discord, you'll be able to suggest that. And if your suggestion gets made into a stream or a video, you get a shout out. Anyway, I've been Chrislevi13, and I'll see y'all later. Stay awesome!